Okay. Hello everybody. Today we will be doing the AMC 10B 2023 problem 7. So, let's get started. The question states, a rectangular box P has distinct edge lengths A, B, and C. Now, when we start here, you might be thinking, oh, we need to start drawing a diagram. Oh, but no, trust me, for this problem, a diagram is not the best way. So let's continue, and I'll show you why in a second. The sum of the lengths of all 12 edges of P is 13. The sum of the areas of all 6 faces of P is 11 by 2, and the volume of P is 1/2. What is the length of the longest interior diagonal connecting the 2 vertices of P? Okay, so we start by writing down the info we know. So this is the piece of information we get. The sum of the lengths of all 12 edges of P is 13. So you might think A plus B plus C is 13, but that's wrong because A plus B plus C is 3 lengths, and we have 12 edges. So that means that it's 4 times that because for each length there's 4 of that on the rectangular prism. So 4 times A plus B plus C is 13. So you can see there. Next piece of information. The sum of the areas of all 6 faces of P is 11 by 2. Okay, let's think for a sec. All 6 faces areas, A, B, B, C, A, C. Those are the areas. But then there's only 3, and we want the areas of 6 faces. That's 2 times it, okay? So 2 times AB plus BC plus AC is 11 by 2. And then the volume, ABC equals half. We should all know that by now. So these are our 3 pieces of information. Now this is the core observation you have to make. Length of the longest interior diagonal connecting 2 vertices of P. What is that? Well, it's something called a space diagonal. And the general formula, I'm just going to write here, is square root of L squared, pretend that's an L and not a 1. Don't pretend, it is an L, not a 1, plus W squared. So length squared plus width squared plus height squared. So if this is the general formula for the longest interior diagonal, and on a side note, please memorize this is very important. So if that's the longest interior, instead of L, W, H, what do we have? A, B, and C. So in that case, let me just turn off the pen and turn on laser point. So in that case, we know this, right? So knowing this, we can go back to the second piece of info. And why second piece? Because do you see any connection between AB and A squared and B squared? A plus B the whole square is A squared plus 2AB plus B squared. Very key formula. So I'm gonna go next, but don't be afraid of the wall of text. Look at the first line and the first line only. Okay? So A plus B the whole square is A squared plus 2AB plus B squared. And since we know this, we can tell basically for A plus B plus C the whole squared, imagine A plus B is X in this case. So then I just want to show that this whole thing is this, because obviously same thing, and this, because we know that formula, don't we now? So this is basically A plus B the whole square, or X squared. And so in general, so we're going to say that A plus B is our X for this, and C is our Y, because in general, it's X plus Y the whole square is X squared plus 2XY plus Y squared. So just know, like, every time in this, just for this line, this applies. So I'm just going to put an arrow so nobody gets confused. Okay, so we have 2 times a plus b times c because, again, this. And c squared, so y squared. So therefore, we have this. And very nicely, we know that this, after simplifying, is equal to this. And we know what this is, right? We know that's 11 by 2. And we know what a plus b plus c is. We know that it's 13 by 4 when we divide it, obviously. So we can find this. And if we find the a squared plus b squared plus c squared, then we can find the square root of that, obviously. So with this info, we can solve. 13 by 4 the whole squared is equal to a squared plus b squared plus c squared plus 11 by 2. Again, because this is 11 by 2. So 169 by 16 equals to a squared plus b squared plus c squared plus 11 by 2. And 81 by 16 equals to a squared plus b squared plus c squared. And so, therefore, since we know this, the thing inside our square root, we just have to square root it. So what's the square root of 81 by 16? 9 by 4, obviously. And that's our answer, D. So I hope you learned from this video about not only in general formulas, which are important, but the fact that sometimes like a diagram is not always the way to go. Because if we were just thinking of the diagram, then let me draw it for you. We'd be like, what does this have anything to do with any length? And we'd just be kind of stuck. And so we wouldn't understand. And therefore, it's important to know, like, before we start looking at this, write down the general formulas we have. And sometimes the info we know might be enough just to solve it for us. And that's it for today. See you in another episode.